What's going on, guys? It's Ryan here with a new topic for Ryan on Gaming. This one comes from my man, Gangster Reviews. He says, I have a topic for you, Ryan, with these game developers, Sony, etc., doing remasters for last-gen games. Which games would you like to see get a remaster? Top 5 or top 10 games you would definitely rebuy and platinum again. I'm sitting on this topic for a while because it is a really good one, but I really had to finalize what games for sure I would totally do. So here it is. Here's a little top 5 video. These are the top 5 games that I want to see a remaster of really, really badly. And of course, we all know that I love trophies, so I would also want to go back and platinum these games again. But just in general, I mean, I'm not going to reserve it to just last gen like you were mentioning. I'm going to, because that's the thing. You said last gen, and so I restricted it to that at first when thinking about this list, but then I realized, you know, the funny thing is, Sony has already done a lot of games that I have really wanted a remaster for. I mean, they did Jak and Daxter for, you know, PS2 to PS3, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, the God of War games, and then we got Last of Us on PS4, Uncharted on PS4. They did a lot of big marquee titles that I really, really, really love. So those are already kind of out of the bag. So kind of took me a while to really think about what games do I want actually. So here's the ones that I've settled on. And the interesting thing is, I've been because this topic is so old, something has changed within my list, so we're going to cover that right now. So when this topic was submitted, I already knew right away one answer is the Grand Theft Auto games. I want them remastered and I want them with trophies. I've been wanting that for the longest damn time. What has now happened, what has transpired, people, is that PlayStation 2 games are now on the PlayStation 4. Now, here's the little caveat, and here's why they're still on my list, actually. Because, granted, I got what I wanted. Well, halfway, basically. I got the GTA games with trophies. I did not get them remastered. And that's what this kind of goes into. The GTA games are still on this list because I want them remastered. Now, yes, I played the hell out of GTA 3 recently and finally got my platinum. I put 50 plus hours into it. But doing that made me realize why a game like that so heavily needs a remaster, because that's the thing. These are still the PS2 games on PS4. These PS2 games on PS4 are strictly still 100% untouched PlayStation 2 games. You know, you put them you play them on the PS4. There's still menus for the DualShock 2. There's still a manual saving system that shows you're accessing memory cards. They're still PS2 games. These need to be remastered because not only would they look really, really good, you know, really sharpen up the game, the textures and everything, really kind of increase it and really pretty it up, but also a lot of the times with these remasters, the developers will go back and really kind of, you know, fix a few things. Of course, they can't drastically change the game, or they can't drastically alter it, but certainly there are a couple of things they can implement that makes the game a little bit easier and brings them kind of into the modern generation. Especially with something like the previous, you know, the 3D universes of the GTA games, because those games don't age that well. They really didn't age that well, and that's because Rockstar did so well in making great, you know, modern Grand Theft Auto games by adding a lot of interesting, easily accessible features, you know, restarting missions or using the weapon wheel in GTA 5, the radio station wheel. Those are all really intuitive things that are great for the gameplay. So when you go back and play the old ones, and even GTA 3, where you can't even control the camera aside from flat views of left, right, and behind you and forward, it really is kind of hard to play them. So I still want all the GTA games actually remastered, and sure, still give them trophies, because Lord knows I would get 2 platinums for every GTA game after I'm done with these PS2 games on PS4. Anyway, that was a long one. Let's go into our next one, which is Spyro. I want a Spyro remaster of all 3 Spyro games. Now, I say all 3 Spyro games because I'm talking about the OG Spyro games. Spyro 1, Spyro 2, Spyro 3. You know, Ripto's Rage, Year of the Dragon. Those are my favorite Spyros. Those are the Insomniac Spyros. And then, let's be honest, they're the Spyros that we all know and love. I mean, granted, there are some Spyros on PS2, actually, the earlier ones. I actually did enjoy those. Those didn't journey off too far into weirdness, and they were actually still, you know, good Spyro games. But I do want the original 3 Spyro games on PS1 remastered, and I would love for those games to get trophies. You know, there's nothing simple to it. I mean, I enjoyed those games a lot. I mean, they're platformers at heart too, and that's something I'm always talking about, and how I love that genre. It sucks that we don't get a lot of platformers nowadays, and it's just not a mass market genre at this point. So I would love to revisit Spyro. Next up, the Resistance trilogy on PlayStation 3. Resistance 1, 2, and 3. Let's bring those games on PlayStation 4. Let's remaster them. Because, yes, I would love to earn trophies in Resistance 1 specifically, but I also want these games to be touched up a little bit. Specifically, I guess this really goes down to Resistance 1, because Resistance 1 does not have trophies, and it really is kind of rough around the edges. That was a launch PlayStation 3 game, and yes, it was a great PlayStation 3 game, but it could, I would love to see that game really touched up. I would love to see that game kind of give it a nice little PS4 facelift. And the Resistance games, I mean, they're always kind of overlooked. I mean, it wasn't this huge, massive success that Sony wanted, but it's a fantastic series. It's got great lore. It's really, really fun. I mean, there's just nothing. Again, there's no explanation there. It's just Resistance. I would love to play those games again and have them put into like one little Blu-ray disc on PS4, and maybe kind of have more people that didn't play the Resistance games and that bought a PS4 and never had a PS3, give them a chance to play these games because they're really, really awesome. My next one, these kind of go into more personal things for me. Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. Need for Speed Underground, that's my favorite, sub-series of the Need for Speed games. I think I speak for a lot of people that when we say, when I say, we all loved Underground. Underground was really cool. You could spend hours customizing your car. I loved the racing mechanics of that game. They're just so fluid, and they just work really well for me. I did a remembering video of the first Underground on this channel a while ago, and I mean, yeah, that's kind of a simple one. I really won't get too far into it. That's really more of a personal thing for me, I guess. That's probably not like a series everybody's clamoring for to see remastered, but I would love to see that. I think the next one, which is my final one, which a lot of people would love to see, is Tony Hawk games. Let's remaster the Tony Hawk games, specifically Tony Hawk, the Pro Skater games and Underground 1 and 2. Because here's the thing, that's why we need those games remastered, because we can't get a fucking proper Tony Hawk game in modern times. Tony Hawk, the Pro Skater HD thing on PS and Xbox Live, that blew. That was whatever. I mean, I played it, I got the platinum trophy. It was fine, but it wasn't what we all wanted. And of course, we all know Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 was not very good at all. So, how are we going to quench this Tony Hawk thirst? You know what? Just give us the old games then. Make them pretty. Don't fuck with them. Don't touch them. Yes, touch them, but just make them good looking. All right. And whatever mechanics that you need to change that I guess, again, back to the GTA thing, that have made the games age a little bit poorly, tidy those up a little bit, but don't screw anything up, and bring Tony Hawk to PS4, X1. I mean, bring all the Tony Hawk games over and just retain their soundtracks. And that's another thing, is that you probably couldn't do that anyway because of the licensing issues. But that I would love to see as well, as the Tony Hawk games. And those are the top 5 personal remasters I want to see on the next-gen consoles. I guess another one, some honorable mentions, I guess, is the Bioshock series. I love Bioshock, and there's rumors, actually, that we're going to get a Bioshock remaster for Bioshock 1, 2, and Infinite, excuse me. Yeah, but yeah, I kind of had a hard time thinking about this, because a lot of my favorite games actually were remastered. I get Final Fantasy X and X-2. I did want that, and then that actually came as well, and it came to Vita too, which is pretty crazy. But those are my top 5 remasters, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have some probably even better suggestions that I'm kind of overlooking, because these are just the big standout ones to me. But I'm sure there's a ton of games that I'm not even thinking of right now, and if you guys mention them, I'd be like, oh yeah, I would totally replay that with trophies. The Katamari games, that's a good little honorable mention as well. The older DBZ games on PS2, Tenkaichi, yeah, I can go on forever. Anyway, thank you, Gangster Reviews, for the awesome topic of the top 5 remasters, top 10 remasters. I couldn't even do 10. That's why this actually was boiled down to 5, and also it took me this long to talk about 5 games, so maybe it's better that I didn't do 10. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video, and you know what? I'll see you in the next one. I know I'll see you in the next one. You'll be there, because I'm going to be there. I'm always there. It'd be a little bit weird if I wasn't there. Click the video and it's just the chair.